Hello, my name is Umesh Ziggy, and I'm just recording a short, quick video to demonstrate how the Flask UI is running. So this is basically a Visual Studio Code where I set up all the code, and I have a Docker file, and in this Docker file, I'm basically you know running Python image, and then I'm installing Java for Spark, and doing all that stuff that I needed to do to be able to use Spark on the VM. This container is actually going to be running within the Azure VM, and then we're installing the notebook and doing all that stuff. But at the same time, I'm setting the work directory as app, and then we have the entry point shell script. And what this shell script is doing is actually doing two things, right? So first of all, it's setting the Java home, and then it's starting the Flask in the background, right? So you can see the Flask application is running on port 8080, and it's executing the main.py file. And then we're also running Jupyter simultaneously because we did our analysis and created our models and executed them, and then we built the whole recommender system in Jupyter, and then we saved that model on the Azure file share. And that file share is accessible by the VM. And the reason that is because if you look at the Docker Compose file, we can see that we're mounting that volume media Amazon ratings, right? So pretty much this is how the Docker file is. And now I'm just going to quickly just open the main.py to show you the routes that I have. So, here you can see um, the index is basically just going to the index.html page. And then we have our route where we're posting the user ID and item ID. And then we're actually making the prediction. So based on, the model that we saved. So, this is where that code is that um, we're calling the ALS model, and we're transforming the input, and then we're collecting whatever the prediction was. And we will be displaying the prediction on the page. And similarly, we have the API routes for that as well. So the API route, and that's what the UI does. It calls the API route and gets the results um, from there. So pretty much this is what the Python code looks like. And I'm gonna just open up how it's running on the VM. So if we go to this page here, you can see this is the VM IP address 130.131.250.68.80.80, and I can type in any user ID and item ID and then do a predict rating, and this will be basically calling the API and running our code. Um, and then you can see the predictions showing up here. It's 4.2661 for user 123 and item 456. So we're actually running this Flask on the endpoint predict. And similarly in Postman, I can call the API here too. So if I go to the body, I can in the body, you can see that I'm passing user ID 123, item ID 457. And if I send this request off, I should get a response back with the prediction. Um, so this is basically the demo for our Flask application running live. Thank you so much. Really appreciate it. And I really enjoyed this semester. Thank you so much, Professor.